and welcome back to another episode of the Cryptcast. Joining me today is the lovely ZehOverseer.
You know how I would try and start old episodes by saying I was gonna do a bit? Well, I'm not doing that anymore because I found out I didn't even realize I stole it, but apparently I stole it from Markiplier.
Oh,
It's in his review Canadian Candy episode where I was rewatching that and he said I was gonna do a bit where I keep putting ketchup on everything, and he said it in the exact same tone and inflection that I always say it in. And it caught me so off guard, and I was just like, oh, that's where I got it from.
Now we know that ZehOverseer is Markiplier this whole time.
Hello, everybody. My name is ZehOverseer, and welcome back to Cryptcast.
Yeah, let's go. I got Markiplier on my podcast. Let's go. But yes, hello. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've done this, and a lot has happened. A lot has happened since we've recorded one of these.
A whole lot. Has it been a year? It's been a year. The last one we recorded was Komura-Con.
Yeah, it's been over a year. That's wild.
Holy hell.
Yeah, that's my favorite episode.
It's pretty good. Sadly, Cube isn't here today. It's just the two of us.
Which again, Komura-Con this year, but this year being 2024, but by the time this comes out, it'll be 2025. But yes, Komura-Con passed again, and I couldn't go. I would have been sad anyways because I wouldn't have my bros with me.
I was thinking of just like asking you one day, is being like, so you want to go, just you and me? I know it won't be the same without Cube, but just like, you want to go? But I was just like,
what do you mean not the same? We've gone together.
Yeah, but Cube just made it so much better. That man's presence just lights up the room.
Yeah, true. But anyways, Zay, you have some very special news that you want to present to the class.
No, I don't, because I'm never going to class again, bitch!
Let's go!
Woo, I'm done! I'm done with school. Forever. No more. I've got my bachelor's degree.
Yay. And then you get an email saying like, oh, actually you have to do like 2 years at community college.
At that point, I drop out.
You gotta get this credit. But no, I'm not gonna speak that into existence.
Yeah, knock on wood, right?
But yes, do you want to explain what you majored and I guess minor, if you had a minor, in?
I don't have a minor. I had a minor. It was comic studies because I chose that originally because I wanted to create a comic because, you know, if you want to be a storyteller online, a common place to start is making your own webcomic. So I wanted to do that, and then I took one comic class and I decided, you know what, actually this isn't for me.
That's very fair.
I'm not minoring in that. I'm not minoring in anything. I am a cinema studies major.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a filmmaker, guys! And what's exciting is, I just had my last term. My final term, I just had it. And for one of my final classes, I took an Avid class. For those who don't know, Avid, or Avid Media Composer, is an editing software that is very common in, like, the movie-making process. Like, a bunch of big major studios use it, like Disney and Netflix. And apparently, University of Oregon, which is where I went, because I'm an Oregonian, one of the few universities in the country that has Avid as a class. And at the end of the term, you take what is called the Avid Certification Exam, which is a test where it's basically a test of you testing how well you know Avid and it's a test. It's a final, basically. But the thing is, if you pass that test, you get Avid certified. And when you get that, my teacher even said before I started the class, he said, it's a hard test. Regularly, only about a third of my students pass that test at the end of each term. But if you pass that test, that certification is your golden ticket into the industry. People will hire you as an editor if they see you are Avid certified. And guess what? I fucking passed it, dude.
Yeah. It's basically like the bar. The bar of editing.
Yes. I love editing. I've been doing it for almost 10 years as a hobby, and now I'm gonna do it as a job. I'm so excited.
I mean, your other dream is also to be a director, correct?
Oh yeah. Well, like when I was a kid, I used to do stand up because I love making people laugh. I love making people smile. I love comedy. I love it. I knew that was my passion since I was a kid, is to make a career in comedy. I used to do stand up, but for some reason I kind of just faded out of that. I guess I realized that like that is dependent. Being a famous stand up comedian, that's basically entirely dependent on luck. If I want an actual career, I need to get something that's like, achievable. So I went into filmmaking. I think that was even around the time I started making YouTube videos, where I realized, oh shit, I actually like making videos a lot. And the next logical step to that is making movies. I know. Oh yeah, you're gonna be a movie maker, Zay. Sure you are.
He's gonna be just like Jack's films.
It's even being like, oh, I stopped being a stand-up comedian so I could go for a much more achievable career, filmmaker. I know that sounds like dumb. Like, what are you talking about? And I know the old saying of the starving artist is 100% true. And I'd be lying if I said I'm still not a little bit worried about my future. But this is what I want to do. And I love doing it, and I am determined to make it happen. If I can get my bachelor's degree, which not a lot of people have, if I can get through college, that proves how determined I am. So you are going to see my name in the credits of a theatrical film. I guarantee it.
Yes. Hey, I am very proud of you.
Thanks.
And honestly, you could do both directing and editing. There's tons of fucking project directors that do that, because they like handling their own shit.
Right.
But also, have one as your main job, have one as a side hustle, or just control your time in doing both.
My plan at this point is to climb up the corporate ladder. Start as an editor, and then work my way up from there, meet some people, network myself, and eventually I'll get to a point where I can go to some guy in a suit at the top of a tower to be like, hey, I've got this idea for a movie. Or a TV show. I'd love to work on a TV show. I'd love to make my own TV show. That sounds fucking rad. Basically, I want to entertain. I want to be an entertainer so bad. And I've proven myself that I can do it.
Yeah, you can do it.
I made a short film. That's something to put on my resume.
Yeah.
Directed, wrote, and starred in my own short film.
And honestly, even parody work, like the way you do it, that like you actually care about your story and that you care about making it your own, making all the characters have a certain cohesion, that says a lot about your writing ability and project direction.
Thank you. I really think doing a bridge stuff has really helped me improve my craft and my writing style.
Don't forget about me when you're famous.
I won't. I'll buy you a nice car.
Okay.
You don't have to drive it, but I'll buy it for you.
I was gonna say let me voice in something, but okay.
You're getting a car. You're gonna like it.
I can't shove a car in my throat, Zay. I do think you have a bright future in what you want to do.
I really hope so. Like, I'm not ignorant to the like, I know like the entertainment industry is it's the wolves. I'm throwing myself into the wolves.
The entertainment industry, let alone just the job industry right now, is a mess.
Yeah. And I know that in 5 years, all movies and TV shows are going to be made by AI. So I'm on a ticking clock right now. I know that too. But like I said, I'm determined. I've come this far. I'm going to see it through.
You're going to be one of the ones leading the Rebel Alliance against AI.
Don't do that. That's too much pressure. Don't. But looking back, like, on my time in college, overall, I wouldn't say it was fun, but I'm glad I did it. If only to like say that I'm a college graduate, because if you I know college isn't for everybody. A lot of people can't afford college. And like the college system itself, like forget about it. Like just like our education system, it's super scummy and like fucked up. So I know college isn't for everyone, but if you have a college degree, people listen to you.
People with souls listen to you. uh Corporate people not so much. They'll be like, I see you working at McDonald's.
I am so blessed I've never had to work retail. I'm so blessed.
I have, and it is fucking hell. But on that note, I guess I can talk about this. This might bite me in the ass someday, but currently I am in the best job of my life, because I finally, after fucking, oh my god, it fucking 6 years, I've been chasing an office job, because my first job was an office job, and it's also what I went to trade school for. I am finally in an office job. I am just at the point, finally, that I can say for sure that this is a job that I absolutely love. And I haven't been able to say that about any job.
That fucking rules, dude.
And I got my own little cubicle. I decorated it. I have an Eevee in the corner, as expected. I also have a Pikachu on the other corner to balance things out. And I used to take a Kirby, the same Kirby stress ball that Zay bought me. I used to take that to work, but then I got worried that I would leave it there, and then I missed it at home, so I just brought it back home.
That makes me happy.
I believe that's the one you gifted to me. I don't feel like it's the one that you gave me at the con. I think you gifted me the Kirby.
Yeah, I do remember. I gifted it. It was either as a Christmas or a birthday present, but I did gift you that Kirby.
Yeah, and I cherish it. But yes, not only am I in a really good job in a field that I've been chasing for years, I have a scooter, my own transportation. It's an e-scooter, an electric scooter. It's handling really well. It does really well in the rain, which it rains a lot here. So,
oh yeah. Welcome to Oregon.
I got that too. So I still take public transportation because I can't take my scooter everywhere because, hills. But yes, I have my own transportation now, and that's been going really good for me. Was a good investment that I was able to pay for with my first paycheck.
That must have felt so good after so long of searching for a job and getting dicked around by all these places. That must have felt so good.
Yes. To finally have expendable money to do an expense like that.
Well, it's a form of transportation. At that point, is it really expendable? It's like, that seems like a necessary thing.
Yeah, other than that, not much has been going on in my life. I have a boring life. I don't go to school.
But you have a scooter! That's the opposite of boring.
I was talking to my mom about this, that, Oregon has a very intense bicycle culture because we make our cities bikeable and walkable, unlike a lot of cities.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of bike lanes around here.
Yeah. However, there's still a lot missing. So, because, how I actually use the scooter, I have to go in the bike lane because it is a scooter, not a moped. It is not a motorcycle, so I have to go in the bike lane. The only times I am ever to be in the road is if there is no bike lane at all. So, but even then, I keep as far to the right as possible. And sometimes I'll go in the middle lane, the turn lane. I'll go there too. And then the only times I'm able to be on the sidewalk is if it's a bike path or if it's to get to another bike lane, like at a crosswalk. What's funny is I've taken the driver. I've taken permit tests, and so I know a lot of the road laws.
Same.
I don't have my license, let alone a permit. I guess they can say that now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I also took the test, and I did get my permit.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Unfortunately, I had to put that on hold because final term, editing class. All focus on that.
Yeah. Of course. Also, I opted for the scooter because while I would love to get my permit and license out of the way and just have that, I can't even afford a car. I can't even afford insurance. And we don't have enough space at the house. So, what's even the fucking point?
Yeah.
Like, the only point I would have to have that is be a backup driver. And while that may be important to my aging folks, I don't want to be a chauffeur for everyone because they're gonna take advantage of it. And also, I don't think my mom trusts me with her car anyways. So it's not against me or anything. She's just always had a trust issue with anyone using her car. Like she tried to teach my brother how to drive, and she freaked out the entire time. Every little movement.
The introduction of that made me worried. I was just like, oh god, what did your brother do?
He didn't do anything. That's the problem. She freaked out over nothing. Granted, he does drive like a maniac now that he actually has his license, but
you could just tell. He just had this aura about him. It was just like, I need to get out of this car. I need to get him off of the wheel. Those motherly instincts.
Yeah. But for me, also regarding my feelings towards driving, I just don't trust other drivers on the road. So, and I make that scarier for myself being on a scooter, being a bicyclist, because I'll get even worse treatment in that regard. I do follow all the laws, the bike laws. In fact, I passed a cop recently and made sure he was looking at me following all the road laws. I've been having a good time with it. I bundle up because it's really cold out when I go speeding. I go the legal limit of 15 an hour because that's the legal limit for a bike.
Where do you park it at work?
Yeah. At work, we have an entrance for disabled people. We over at that entrance we have mobility scooters parked there. So in that same vein, I'm able to park my scooter there.
Ah, gotcha.
And I can charge it at work. So I just have it charging my entire shift. So
right. No, that's good. That's smart.
And as far as home, I keep it locked up in the shed because we don't want it taken at all from the driveway or the backyard anywhere visible.
Yeah, I gotcha. Thing about Oregon, there's not only a bunch of bike lanes, there's also a lot of crazy people.
Zay, do you have any other things you want to talk about?
I mentioned earlier that first just talking about the car thing. It is a bit I do want to learn how to drive and I want to own a car one day. I know like the thought of driving is scary, I admit. I'm in the same boat as you where it's just like taking control of this 2,000-pound giant piece of metal, and if you make any mistakes, you'll kill someone and yourself. That's scary, but I just fucking hate buses, man. I hate them so much. They're the worst, especially around here. These fucking buses. It feels like only around here can I leave the house 2 hours early and still somehow be late for class.
I like buses when they're empty. When there's no people on them. And also we have these new buses in my area that you've been on the train lines around here.
Yeah.
They have buses now that look like the inside of those trains, because it is one of those long buses with like the middle part being able to turn a little bit like a train. It's one of those really big city buses that you like see in New York or some shit.
Neat.
So like we got that upgrade. And those ones are air conditioned.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Yeah, they have great seating. They are air conditioned. They have actual working speakers. They have window control, so it is very nice. So I still am good for taking public transportation. It's just I live on a hill, so I have to walk up the hill to even get to it. So I like my scooter. And obviously I still get rides when I am able to and have to. But I do take my scooter where I can.
Right.
And
but
I'm very happy with it.
I just can't stand buses. I'm so glad that I'm done with. One of the reasons I'm done with school is just like, yes, I don't have to take the bus every morning anymore. Which, like, I know I said earlier that like I wouldn't say I had a great time in university. I just. Do you mind if I rant for a bit about how much I hate my classmates?
Oh yeah, the Rick and Morty dudes.
That's a good descriptor, yes. Because, like, I'm a cinema studies major, which means I had to spend all of my classmates were like, I'll just call them what they are, snobs. And it drove me crazy. Because, like...
They're cinema sins enjoyers.
Yes, one time. And the reason he says that, everybody, is because I've mentioned this story a couple times where... One time in one of my classes, we were all asked to come up at the front of the class and say what some of our favorite content creators on the internet were. I don't remember why, but that's something we did one day. And one of my classmates said that their favorite YouTube channel was CinemaSins. And everybody else in the class was just like, oh yeah, oh, I love them. And I'm just in the back by myself just thinking like, these are not my people. I shouldn't be here. So like, fuck CinemaSins, but I'm not going to get into that. What I really want to say is like, I have such a huge and deep respect for people who make movies. The truth is, this is something that I firmly believe. The truth is, everyone complains that we get more bad movies than good ones. And that is true, and that sucks. But the truth is, making movies is so difficult, especially like professional, like $1 million
Mm.
movies. They are so difficult and take so much goddamn work and so many people working together. Frankly, we're lucky we get any good movies at all. The fact that we do get any good movies is a fucking miracle. And
True.
as I've grown, I've just fucking hated. I know I do reviews on like Brainwatched and stuff, but like, I'm gonna be real, I've never been a fan of reviewing. I just don't feel good criticizing another person's work of art because I respect how much work it takes to even make something like that. And like, fucking another example of like, I'm just more of me just bitching about my classmates. It might have been the same class even. Like, we were shown a documentary in class one day about the making of The Force Awakens, the Star Wars. And like it was interview with all like the directors, and it showed like concept art and stuff like that, and like how the CGI was made and stuff like that, and how they blended practical with CGI. And it was so fascinating, and I loved it. I'm just like, this is the shit I love. This is the shit that I love learning about. But when the title of the documentary came up on the big board, and all it took was the words Force Awakens to come up on screen, somebody in the front of the class went, ugh, and everybody burst out laughing. And again, me by myself in the back of the class was just sitting there just like, man, show some fucking respect. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the fucking Star Wars fans that are never satisfied with having any fucking Star Wars at all.
And
Yeah.
and I'm so sick of, and I got so fucking sick of hearing people talk about Marvel in class every day, every single fucking day. It was somebody had to raise their hand and start bitching about Marvel every single fucking day, and I got so tired of it. And another time, every day we'd ask like, what new what new stuff had everybody watched over the weekend? And one of my classmates said that they were rewatching House, the show House. At the end, he made a comment as just like, I was just watching House and thinking about like how I miss when shows were good and people put thought into them and they had good writing and stuff like that. And as he said that, I just remember thinking to myself, it's just like, do you know how many hundreds of shows come out every month? People still do make good shows. Great shows come out all the time. The problem with these people is that they don't fucking watch them. Because I guarantee, if I walked up to that man, it's just like, all they make is bad shows now. Oh, what kind of shows? I guarantee you he would just be like, oh, all the Marvel stuff and all the Star Wars shows. And I'm just like, instead you're just focusing on the mainstream. If you love TV shows so much and you love movies so much that you're going for a cinema studies degree, fucking watch more shit. Watch good stuff. Stop fucking bitching about the same things every day and talk about things you like. Huh? Stop bitching. Just stop fucking bitching. Anyway.
I like your passion. I really do.
Thanks.
Zay, talk about your favorite parts of college, your favorite classes or courses.
I can do that, yeah. But in terms of classes that I liked, because obviously ignoring all that stuff I was just angry about, classes that I liked were all of the classes where I got to make stuff. There weren't a lot, because I remember talking to my counselor, and she said that I was like, I wanted classes where I can like make stuff, like make movies and stuff. And she told me straight up, listen, we are not a film school. We have a cinema studies major, but we are not a film school. So we don't have a ton of classes like that. But I did take some classes where it was just like the final assignment was make a documentary or like make a short film. My first ever short film I made in class. And so like those classes were very few and far between. But I love those classes so much. And there were a couple of, really cool surprises in there. I found out recently this year that I'm actually really super into religious studies. Because I took a religious studies class as an elective, because it was just like, this could be interesting. Turns out, I find religion super fascinating. Who knew? So that was another really fun class. Yeah, while I complain a lot because, it's school. Who doesn't complain about school? But there were some really fucking cool classes in there and a lot of fucking really cool teachers. And like University of Oregon, I've never been to any other college, but University of Oregon, it's not a shitty college. It wasn't a dreadful experience.
It's a highly regarded college. Their top, one of the top college football teams is from there.
Yeah, I believe we're number one in the world. No, not the world. What the country? I believe we're number one in the country right now. The world doesn't give a shit about college football.
The world doesn't give a shit about football. The world gives more of a shit about actual football, soccer. Did you even get to see a monster movie?
Yes. Thankfully, a Guillermo del Toro class was offered.
Oh.
So I signed up for that real quick. That was another pretty awesome class.
I was hoping you would see something like the Godzilla movies, the actual good ones.
Okay, I did see Godzilla in a class. It was like foreign films. That's where I saw I did see the first Godzilla movie. First Godzilla movie's pretty fucking cool. Pretty fucking good.
It's fucking dated as shit, but holy shit, monster movies are entirely different beast of cinema. It's insane the way someone has to direct that.
Yeah. That's the same class. I think I mentioned this in an older podcast. That's the same class where I watched The Birds for the first time, which confirmed the fact that I am in fact very much a pussy. because I had my eyes closed for practically that whole movie. But yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's all I got to say about university. I'm done.
What's your
one more
feelings?
thing.
What's your feelings on Beowulf?
I don't know if this podcast can go for another 3 hours. Let's just say I took a Beowulf class, and it was the worst class I've ever taken in my life. At the end of the term, I took my Beowulf book. I took my 4 Beowulf books that I had to buy for the class, each with slightly different word translations, and I had to buy all 4. I took them, and I burned them in my fire pit.
Man's really Fahrenheit 51 for a good reason.
But I think I'll end my university talk with one last thing. When I was a kid, my parents, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, which apparently, in the time between when I was a kid and now, I just learned this recently, apparently Asperger's is now an outdated term. Yeah. I didn't know about that. Well, I didn't know that. I've been using that to describe myself my whole life, so I don't think I'm going to stop now. So, I was diagnosed with Asperger's as a kid. I am autistic. I am on the spectrum, however you want to phrase it. But those doctors told my parents that I was unlikely to ever even graduate high school. And I fucking showed them.
Yeah.
And look at me now. Look at me now. I am a college graduate. I fucking showed those fucking doctors.
I'm really proud of you. And I guess I can speak on my growing experience as I get older, that I am actually looking to get an official diagnosis. And because for years my family has suspected over all the symptoms that I give, all the signs of ADHD or AD or ADD. And with that in mind, when I was applying for my current job, because of the type of company that it is a nonprofit. It is a nonprofit that supports and it does a lot of hiring of people that are disabled or have disabilities of mental or physical. And so on the interview paper that they have you fill out before you speak with them, it has, do you have a disability or do you not know but suspect that you do? I didn't know what to fill out, so I went to talk to the representative, and they said, honestly, if you feel like you have something and you're wanting to get that seen, then honestly just check yes, because we deal in that stuff and are willing to support you. So I am in the most inclusive workplace ever.
That's good.
I mean, half of my office is on both. Half of my office either or and or on the spectrum or and or LGBTQ. So I am very much not the other one, but I am probably one the on the spectrum. So I'm in the most inclusive workplace I've ever seen in my life. Inclusive in a good way. Like, yeah. They're like not diversity hires or some shit. It's right. The company is built around this, and they are wanting to support people in a livable wage that have these disabilities, that have these problems in life. And I think that's the coolest fucking thing.
Sounds like you got a really good job. I can't speak of, since I was diagnosed as a kid, back when I didn't really understand like what it meant or what the big deal is. So like I can't speak to like, because I imagine being diagnosed as an adult has got to be a totally different experience. And
yeah.
The emotions that probably come with that.
Like I've heard I've heard between comparisons of being diagnosed as a kid and being diagnosed as an adult, that like as a kid it's easier to do that because you grow up learning about it and you grow up living with it. But as an adult, you finally come to the understanding, like, oh, this is why I did that back in the day. This is why I act a certain way. In a mature sense, you're coming to that understanding.
I feel like the absolute worst time to be diagnosed is as a teenager. That's the point in your life where you're most likely to be like, I'm a freak, that like there's something wrong with me, I hate myself.
Exactly, and not only you bullying yourself, but others bullying you. So that's sort of another reason why like my family never wanted to talk to me about it, because they were worried about me getting treated differently, because I already was getting bullied. So probably because I was showing symptoms of the shit that I didn't know. So love that. So at first I was upset. I'm gonna be honest. At first I was very upset with my mother and my family. However, I have come to terms with it and have very much talked with them about it, and in getting a diagnosis as an adult. And this isn't to say that I'm gonna be hyped up on medication or start living my life a different way. I just am wanting the diagnosis to know that I have it.
Right.
Because we live in a very different age that, like, this shit is treated differently, way differently than it used to be back in the day.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
the difference is crazy.
So, like, I feel like I'm in a good place to be like, you know what? I don't need medication. I don't need all this special treatment. I don't need all this. Just having the knowledge that I am a certain way and this is why, that's good for me. So, gonna be speaking with lots of doctors in the new year. So,
and you know what's a really awesome fact that brings me a lot of comfort? We're the next step in human evolution.
Let's go.
Cause like more and more kids these days are being born with autism. I made this joke during Brainwashed, and you cut it out. So I'm sorry if like you don't want me repeating myself. I'm just like, more and more kids are being born with autism. That's not the vaccines doing that. That's evolution, baby.
But yes, I do feel like things have definitely changed for the better for and hopefully it continues to be that way. And with where I'm working, it seems to be going in a very good direction. What's also going in a good direction is the channel, because we have a lot of shit coming in 2025 that I could speak about right now, because we got a few secret projects that we haven't talked about yet. But the ones I can talk about is that by the time this video comes out, you may notice that we fucking won 3 copyright battles in a row.
This man, you guys, he can't be stopped.
Ever since I beat Sony, that YouTube's just like, we'll let him go. Like, obviously, I know that like the shit could bite me in the ass later, and like they could come back and fucking fight me, but I'll be ready to fight them back.
They can't touch him, folks. They can't touch him.
They get scared when I talk legal terms for good reason. This time, I didn't have to do that. I just did some fancy editing that looks kind of stupid, but works. And the 3 videos in question, because by the time this video comes out, it'll already be out, were Kimono Friends for the second time, because we were fighting... I believe it was Crunchyroll that originally copyrighted us with the original, and then Sony. Well, anyways, we got past them again with a Japanese dub, which, if you didn't know, which we did explain in the description, that the Kimono Friends episode 1 Japanese dub was done by a fan of Panics at the time, back in the day.
Which is so cool. I believe the original title was like Kimono Friends if it was made in America.
Which I think is still really funny. But yeah, we Panix kept it just in case. We don't really talk with that fan very much these days, but like we still wanted to have his work up. We did all we could to re-upload it, and thank God it went up without issue, because I did not want to do all that subtitling. I did not want to do all that fucking copyright avoiding editing with new subtitling. That would have been fucking hell. Because I started that, and then I'm like, I'm gonna put this aside and come back to it. And then at the end of 2024, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking throw some shit on the video and see if it does anything. Nothing happened. So I did some stupid edits that are passable that thank God I didn't have to do anything extra beyond that. And then we beat Disney. We beat fucking Disney because...
Again, I must reiterate, J-Chip, there is no we. You did that.
Fine. I beat Disney slash Ghibli because we uploaded Kiki's abridged service, which was originally on Zay's channel, because that went down a few years ago. And I just felt it was a real shame that it was not on YouTube in its original form anymore.
Thank you, J-Chip.
There's nothing wrong with the picture show that you did. It's just I like it in its original form.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Which, in fact, we still have the puppet show of Little Witch still up for that very reason.
I was so worried you were going to take that down when you got Little Witch abridged. Like through copyright.
No, you put so much effort into it, and it was fucking hilarious. So I kept it.
I'm still pretty proud of it. Like
that's an amazing. I showed that to other abridgers, and they're like, "This is genius way of fucking avoiding copyright."
I think it was just like. I think it got to the point where I had to do an action scene with these little fucking cutouts where I realized, guys, I think I'm really good at storyboarding.
I'm really good at storyboarding and editing. But yes, we beat Disney slash Ghibli. And I think it's fucking hilarious that the way it got passed was that I made a funny border that happened to have a certain mouse on it. And a certain mouse that is now public domain. So I think that's fucking hilarious.
Just, some obscure cartoon mouse from the 30s.
But yes, we also, after 10 years, 10 fucking years, these videos that are now one video have been off of YouTube, are now on YouTube in Gotcha Man. This was Panix's first ever abridged work. While it is extremely dated, because it was his first work, we have a lot of fucking regrets in our first work. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's to be expected.
It's to be expected, but we wanted to preserve it for archiving reasons, for the principle, So after 10 years, and somehow we got it to pass after 10 years, and it's entirely possible that get taken down again. But as of this recording, as of me speaking right now, it is up, and it is a collection. And with this classic collection, finally ends BridgeBrains Classics. Because all of our series or one-shots that have gone down are now up on BridgeBrains.
Feels good, man. We did it. You did it. Sorry. I'm so sorry, sir.
I beat the system.
You beat YouTube. You beat those Japanese copyright lawyers.
obviously they still fucking claim shit that like, yeah, we can't fucking monetize, but we weren't looking to do that anyways. And it's for music use, so I don't fucking give a shit. I only give a shit when it comes to visuals. But
y'all don't realize how fucking cool this man is. He did something that channels with millions of subscribers couldn't do.
That's the issue though, is that like, well, it's a really hard case that smaller channels are harassed a lot more, and like usually if the smaller channels don't know what to do, then they're screwed. However, if a channel is huge and have a huge copyrighted work on their channel, they're more susceptible to viewership, which the companies will see them as stealing viewership and stealing the whole IP and all that. So it's a really tricky situation. And I've learned so much about copyright over the last few years because of BridgeBrains. Hell, our first ever upload, besides the channel trailer, was a re-upload.
Oh yeah, Kiz Naiver.
Yeah, Kiss in the Bridge.
Still our most popular series.
Goblin Slayer still is pretty close, but still way behind. But yeah, with that being 10 years, I put in the description that like 10 years ago, Panic started abridging. And also 10 years ago, Zay and I started abridging. Isn't that fucking wild? Just the three of us that eventually came together to make a team all started in the same year.
Yeah. That's...
What was going on in 2015? Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge was at fucking 50-something? That was peak at this time. I don't even know what
I don't remember 2015. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Fascinating that like all three of us that eventually came together to make a super team all started in the same year without knowing. It just puts more perspective into the fact that we have been doing this for 10 years as of the time this video comes out.
And you know what, can I just say, you know, with me graduating and you getting a really nice stable job and Cube getting a house, dude owns a house now, I gotta say, I think the future's looking pretty bright for us.
Yeah, because not only do we have these 3 videos out now, we have so much planned for this year. Zay is starting an original series.
It's exciting.
We can't talk about it yet, but it is an original series.
I've dropped a few hints here and there, but yeah, I want to keep it a shush on the down low because I'm so excited for it.
It's not a podcast. It's not an abridged thing. It's not a parody or anything. It is an original project that will be on BridgeBrains, which podcasts are original things, but they're their own format thing. They're their own video format, audio format, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, not only do we got that, but we have special episodes of our podcast coming out, including a revival of Beyond the Grave, because I am feeling very confident in networking these days. So I am getting in talks with a lot more content creators.
Yeah, big things. I think I'm going to look back on 2024 and 2025. I'm going to look back being like, man, that was a big time in my life.
Yeah, like obviously the year has its ups and downs. But like honestly, I got a lot of shit done this year. And I have a lot of shit coming this year. I think we're on the up now. And that's weird to say, knowing that not only have we've been doing this for 10 years, the channel's been up for 7 years. So it's interesting because some channels don't even make it past 2, let alone 5.
Yeah, we're some old folks, but you can't keep us down.
We're gonna be making videos in our 80s. Think about the good old days when the bridging was cool. But also, we have a few other abridgments in the works that are going to be on BridgeBrains. So stay tuned to that. But yes, to end things, Zay, I am very proud of you. Thank you for joining me. And I'm sorry I went a lot longer than I was supposed to.
I had quite a bit to say too.
And I'm glad I've been able to do this podcast series with you. Almost every episode. I think
it's mostly just me and you.
I think you've even in the original Cryptcast that we did before we rebranded. I think you've only missed 4 episodes. But yeah, thank you so much, Zay, for joining me, and I look forward to our works together.
Me too. I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too. And then we love you guys too. Thank you guys for watching or listening.
And we'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!
Markiplier, why didn't you leave?
All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're not unreasonable. I mean, no one's gonna eat your eyes. All we wanna do is eat your brains. We're at an impasse here. Maybe we should compromise. If you open up the door, we'll all come inside and eat your brains.